like that's the thing. Artists are across multidisciplinary as well as intersectional, backgrounds. We have artists who are from the African Nova Scotian community. We have artists who are from the Indigenous community. We have artists who are refugees or landed immigrants. We have artists who are from the queer community. And they also struggle because a lot of what they're doing is very niche in terms of what they're creating. And there's not always a lot of opportunity for them to get in front of maybe a grant or some funding. So when you take away that funding, they ultimately lose even more. And they're going to have to find new ways or just not create, which means culturally we lose as a province because now we're not getting as much culture as we had out there. And that's kind of goes back to the school system for me, where not only are kids, and I think that what people need to understand about artists in the schools and perform, it's not just about bringing in a dancer, a visual artist, a writer. It's about an experience for the kid. And that child is discovering themselves. They're learning about themselves. They're learning about their culture or other people's cultures. They are growing as a human. And what they're experiencing in the school can be incredibly transformative for them. If you are thinking about, and I use Acadian dance all the time because the Acadian population is so prominent here in Nova Scotia. And I think about modules in school and maybe in history around Acadian culture. And you bring in an Acadian dancer or Acadian artist, or even a choir or a vocalist who maybe is, prominent in Acadian song. And they're learning about the culture. They're learning about maybe their history through the arts, which makes them more attached to it, which makes them more proud of it. And they're discovering who they are as an Acadian. And it's so important to be able to give people that opportunity, those kids, that opportunity to experience that in that way. Much like,
It's like, sorry, I was going to say it's like 3D learning. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's
yeah,
like it completes the process. Yeah.
if I think about, 2S LGBTQI plus kids who the arts allows them to see, to play, to create, to understand themselves a little bit more
To
while they're
belong, to belong.
to belong,
Yeah.
absolutely. And to just grow and feel like they're okay. It's so important and so impactful to them. So when people are thinking, well, they'll just find other ways to have art in the school, that is the point you're missing, is that it's not just about a performance. It's not just about somebody who's come in and done a two-hander to show them a little bit of Romeo and Juliet in the play. It's about all of the other things that go along with it.
Yeah.
And now those kids, those students lose because of it. And remember, we are a province made up heavily of rural areas where not everybody, as much as we want it to be, is as open and as willing to embrace culture. But in the school system, it's part of it. And they lose that there.
Yeah. Yeah, public funding ensures access and equity, you know?
Yeah, completely.
And cutting funding and expecting people to kind of find other ways, or this argument about putting it back in their pocket so people will then take that money and then pay for it. Like it just does
Oh
not
my God. It's
hold
just
any
trickle
kind
down
of water.
economics, but for family. It's such a, yeah, there was a great article written by Stephanie Domet that said basically this. It's just such a misconception that these programs are revenue generating. Not at all. We are all charities running programs that send artists to work with small children and provide access in rural communities, subsidized for marginalized communities and for disproportionately affected and rural schools. We do not make money from this endeavor. We were a program, a function of basically what our government cared about, which was providing access and exposure to art and social well-being to children. We don't take in revenue for these programs. We were just sort of the stewards of these programs, and just provided subsidized rates for them. So it's just such a loss, and there is no way that these programs will still be around to pay money into. I don't know, Tim Houston saying that like somehow these programs will be invested in by parents later down the road when they've got some more pocket change is so misguided and untrue. These programs won't be there 3 months from now. So you can't invest back in them. They'll just be gone.